And so I'm reflecting on my experience as a basketball coach, and I've thought about the times where I was coaching young men who really didn't believe in themselves. The characteristics of what it looked like on the floor was they would shrink under pressure. You can see that they were afraid of really exerting themselves because they didn't have the confidence or in their ability or their preparation or whatever the case may be, right? You can really see the kids shrinking back from competition. And to me, and probably my generation and before, that's probably the most frustrating thing about coaching is when you see your team shrink and give in to fear and go and get destroyed. And it's debilitating when you looking at the kids. They're like disconnected. It's like they're not in their body. They you can tell like they're pale, right? And these kids from all backgrounds, from inner city to private school, I've seen the same thing. And to me, it took me a long time to understand, man, what could I do to motivate them, to help get them engaged in the process of becoming a winner and becoming a better basketball player and a better basketball team. And it just hit me right now, and thinking about why the Empower Group is so important and getting ready to change the face of education and student athletes is because of this. We're all attempting to engage this generation with the methods and belief systems that worked for us. And we grew up in much tougher environments, right? Physically, where we had to adapt this type of tough exterior in order to get through the things that we were experiencing, right? With them, it's basically a flipped process. They didn't grow up in a physically threatening environment. They grew up in a mentally and emotionally threatening and unsafe environment. So for a lot of our kids, that's why you see them with the hoods on all the time. They walk around with these masks on. We look at it as, oh, they trying to be hard. No, they're afraid and they don't feel safe, right? And so how does that connect to empowerment? Empowerment, based on how I've been teaching it, based on how I've been coaching through it, and what I've seen is, as a male, my energy is strength, presence, leadership, and authority, right? To the people that I'm engaging with the students and young people that I'm engaging with. But when I embrace them, when I approach them with love and grace and patience, and they don't feel condemnation from me, what I see them do and what I see people do in general is it's almost like me creating that space for them makes them feel safe, right? So they open up, and it's just it's the most amazing thing to see. But then I can still stay in that space of, hey, you don't know what you're doing right now. I'm going to hold you accountable to the principles and morals and values that's going to allow you to transition from I don't want to be seen, right? I don't want to grow and expand and achieve and stand out and lead, to helping them understand why that is a fear of theirs, and to help them understand that this is the roots of your fear, and here's another option. This is what empowerment is about. Romans 12 talks about, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I did not transform my life because I stayed safe. I didn't take risk. I had to really do the work of looking at myself plainly and understanding why I chose to behave the way I behave, right? Some of it was learned and conditioned, and some of it was what was already in me, but I didn't explore or express freely, because I felt like that wouldn't be valued, or I didn't want to be seen, because I lived in a state of fear. And so what the empowerment group does with our core curriculum is I teach young people and people in general, you have the power to choose. You have the power to choose who you want to be, how big you want to be, how amazing you want to be, how mediocre you want to be, how lazy you want to be. You have that power to choose, and who you are is a result of your decision making. Now, there's some factors that go into what shaped your decision making, but at the end of the day, it's still us choosing things or choosing not to do things, right? Then I connect that to, once you understand that you have the power to choose, that is your superpower, then I teach them how to take ownership of their decision making, right? Because once we start making decisions underneath our own influence, then we got to start taking responsibility for the consequences that result of it. And consequences isn't just a negative thing, it's positive too. It's just a result of the decision that we made. We got to take ownership of that. And what that looks like is, hey, I accept responsibility when I fell short of doing something that I said or I committed to do. Or I committed to do something and I showed up how I said I want to show up, and this happened and I experienced what I experienced, and I should be proud of that because I made that decision. I take ownership of the positive and negative outcomes of my decision making. Then I transition into emotional intelligence with the R, where I teach them how to respond versus react. And for our chocolate babies, our brown melanated skin babies, right, this is a big thing. And a lot of this is indoctrinated into their belief system because they grew up hearing anybody put their hands on you, you punch them in the face. You better hit them back, right? It's this reaction thing that if I'm triggered, I'm automatically going to react in physical violence or mental emotional instability, right? And that just doesn't work for us. I know the world and the system wants us to be like that, but we're called higher. So I teach them what it looks like to respond to situations and external things, and think about it before they respond versus just a reaction. This brings them into alignment, right? This allows them to calm down and not be so stressed and in survival mode all the time. And believe it or not, man, this makes a world of difference when you know you have the power to choose, and then you can create the resources to get access to the things that's really going to help you continue to be you and be solid. That's what I'm talking about. And then that leads me to the last letter, which is E, and that means executing excellence, right? So once you start to learn that I have the power to choose, this is my standard of living, this is my quality of life, this is my purpose in life or my path, and I'm taking ownership of my decision making. So I'm being prudent with what I, learning and seeking understanding and wisdom so I can make good decisions, and wisdom so that it'll work out for my favor, right? And now I'm choosing to respond to situations, which makes me a leader. I'm solid, I'm grounded, I'm anchored, and I'm executing these things, my goals, my strategies, my systems, my plans in excellence based on my standard. That creates a habit of healthy decision making, and that's what living empowered is all about. We can't change a lot of things in the world being disempowered. We can change the world by changing us first. And when we change us first, we then impact the world. That's living empowered. That's what I want to bring here into Oklahoma City. Not want to bring. This is what is here in Oklahoma City because I'm here in Oklahoma City, and this is my baby, my purpose driven project and passion in life is to live fully empowered, which creates possibility for others that experience me to show them that they too can live empowered, right? And so the goal is to exponentially grow healthy leaders, starting with our youth, right? And so I would love anybody who this really touches and comes into alignment with. I would love to speak to you about how I can implement this program in your sphere of influence. I have it online, available online, or I can teach it in person. And also we can grow the program to where I can teach others how to facilitate this and really create a culture of empowerment for our youth within our education, even our churches, especially in our churches, right? They need to feel the power of God right in them. And this is where this power comes from, right? It comes from God. And if they're going into church and they're feeling disempowered, then we're not in the right alignment with Yahweh, period. You can't tell me otherwise. There's either fruit or there's no fruit, right? And if we're not producing fruit, if our youth are not coming to us knowing that they need help, and they, because they see the fruit in our lives, if they don't see the fruit, then they ain't gonna be motivated to reach out when stuff hits the fan, right? When they're experiencing challenges, because the solution that we say is the solution, they don't see the fruit of it. Rightfully so. I understand that. So that's why we as adults have to live empowered, have to be empowered in order for us to empower our youth. And that's just not what's happening in the general sense in our educational systems, in our churches. It's like, I'm not saying it like anybody else, it's not to offend, but we see the writing on the wall, right? We know C.O.R.E and G.O.R.E, right? Are the children doing well? Are our children doing well? Overall, no, man, they're under attack, and we don't have any powerful response to that. But Empowered does. Empowered does. So thank you for allowing me to rant about my baby, my passion project, my life's work that I'm going to dedicate myself to, that I have dedicated myself to. And I'm just looking to really begin to plant roots here in my home city, in my home state, in the state of Oklahoma, who I believe that desperately needs what I have to share, what I have to give. And I say that humbly, but you know, this is I see the vision, and I'm just looking for other people who have similar visions, and we can connect together, continue to empower this thing, and come together and be powerful together, and then share that power with more and more kids. And I'll leave you with this what does it say? The Bible was saying, like kingdom math, 1 can chase away 1,000, 2 can chase away 10,000. That's the kind of exponential growth that I'm expecting once we get this thing in motion. Like, it's gonna catch fire quick, and it's gonna take many shapes and many forms, but it's still gonna be from the same source, right? Producing the same amazing transformative results in the lives of people that it impacts. So I'm excited to do this work. My life has been personally transformed by this work. That's why I believe in it so much, because I've experienced it and I've seen it work. I've been, every job that I've had, this is how I show up. They'll tell you, anywhere I worked, eventually I'm gonna be talking to somebody and helping them through crisis, or mentoring, or you know, whatever, man. I'm going to encourage. This is what I do. I have always lived a lifestyle of empowerment. Now I'm more anchored and aligned with who I am, and we pouring everything into this thing, man. I'm really excited about this work. It's already, I can see the impact of it already, and so I just want to grow it, you know, and share it with more people. So if this resonates with you, I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to hold your attention and speak to you for a second. And if you feel moved to partner with me, I would love to just reach out to the through my DMs or email, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's live empowered.